Hey there, I'm Sadie.
And I'm Alex.
Welcome to the walkthrough for Intro Battle Hoth, a game of unlimited possibilities. This self-contained experience is the perfect introduction to Star Wars Unlimited. What is Star Wars Unlimited?
It's a trading card game that is both fast-paced and strategic. In this game, you'll lead iconic characters, command units, and battle in epic locations across the Star Wars galaxy.
Every card in your deck represents something from Star Wars, a character, a moment, a ship, or even a lightsaber. And every decision you make shapes the course of the game. You and your opponent take on the role of a leader, each with your own base to defend. Your goal? Bring your opponent's base down to 0 before they do the same to you.
Today we're jumping into the action with Intro Battle Hoth, the perfect way to learn the game. We'll teach you the basics and walk you through the first few rounds of gameplay.
So let's get started. Feel free to open up your own game and follow along with us.
This initial game is specifically set up for beginners, and we will walk you through every step along the way. You'll want to start by setting up the game board on a table or a flat surface, and then punch out all the counters, setting them off to the side. Once you're all set up, each player takes one of the 2 decks. The top cards are just some simple reference cards, but you won't need them since we're helping you. Set them aside for now. I've grabbed the Leia Organa deck.
And I'll be playing with the Darth Vader deck since you left me no choice but the dark side.
The first card of each deck is the leader. The character of the deck is built around. Take this card and place it on the leader spot on your side of the board.
The next card in your deck is your base. Place this card on the base spot with the 20 HP side face up. You'll notice each player's base starts with 20 HP or hit points. HP commonly refers to the health of a character or object. Throughout this game, you'll deal damage to your opponent's base by attacking it, which lowers the amount of hit points remaining. If you reduce the enemy's base to 0 HP, you win the game.
In this game, the initiative counter starts with the Leia player. Having the initiative means I'll get to take the first action of this round. You'll see later how the initiative counter is up for grabs at the end of each action phase. Then, take the rest of your deck and put it face down on the deck spot on your game board.
For this initial gameplay, the deck has been set up in a specific order, so do not shuffle it. Now, draw 6 cards from the top of your deck to form your starting hand.
Typically, you'll want to hide your hand from your opponent, but for the sake of this walkthrough, I'll show you what I've got. Starting with the Leia player, because they have initiative, each player will place 2 cards face down as resources. Now, these resources will be used to pay the cost of cards and abilities throughout the game. As face down cards, you won't need to worry about the front side text again. I will put down I'll cover for you and Trench Defender as resources.
All right, let's see what I've got in my hand. I will put down Target the Main Generator and Ground Assault AT-AT as resources. Once I place these cards, I won't be able to pick them up again for the rest of the game. Now that we've finished setting up, we're ready to start the game.
Each round has an action phase and a regroup phase. We'll make note of that in the top right-hand corner of the screen to help clarify.
In the action phase, players go back and forth, taking one action at a time. An action could be anything from playing a card to attacking with a unit to using an ability.
My first action will be playing the Echo Coordinator ground unit from my hand. To play a card, you'll need to exhaust a number of resources equal to the cost shown in the upper left of the card. Exhausting means turning a card sideways to show it's been used this round. Echo Coordinator is a ground unit shown at the top of the card. Ground units are played to the ground arena, while space units are played to the space arena. Finally, each unit enters play exhausted or on its side. So I will place Echo Coordinator exhausted into the ground arena.
I will play the Snow Trooper Vanguard ground unit from my hand. As Alex described, I will exhaust 2 resources matching its cost, then place Snow Trooper Vanguard exhausted in the ground arena.
With no ready resources and no actions I can take on the board, I will choose to take the initiative as my last action. This means I've locked in the advantage of going first next round. This is marked by placing the initiative counter on my side of the board and flipping it over. Also, a player who takes the initiative is not allowed to take any more actions this round. This means I pass.
While I'd love to go first, only one player can take the initiative each round. I have no other actions to take, so I will choose to pass as well. Now that both players have passed, the action phase is over and we move on to the regroup phase, where we'll prepare for the next round of battle.
At the start of the regroup phase, both players draw 2 cards from their decks. Then, each player can put down any one card from their hand face down as a resource. This card does not need to be one of the 2 cards that you just drew. Remember, once a card becomes a resource, you won't get to play this card later in the game, so choose wisely. I'll place I've found them face down and exhausted as a resource. After drawing 2 cards and choosing a card to resource, each player readies all their exhausted cards in play. Units, resources, and leaders, and the initiative counter is flipped back over. Turning all your cards upright will signal to your opponent that you've completed the regroup phase and are ready to move on to the next round.
After drawing 2 cards, I will put 1st Legion Trooper face down and exhausted as a resource, then ready all my cards. Seeing both players' cards are ready for battle, looks like we're ready to move on to round 2. Each round will follow the same pattern of action phase, then regroup phase.
I'll start this round by taking the attack action with Echo Coordinator. A unit must be ready or upright to be able to attack. My ground unit can attack either my opponent's ground unit or the enemy base. I think I will attack my opponent's base. To perform the attack action, I exhaust the attacking unit, turning the card on its side. Each card deals damage equal to its power, which is the number in red on the left of the card.
I'll mark 1 point of damage to my base with a damage counter. So, my base still has 19 HP or hit points remaining. For my action, I'll use Snowtrooper Vanguard to attack Echo Coordinator in the ground arena. When attacking a unit, both units will deal damage to each other at the same time. It's kind of like offense and defense. In this case, my Snowtrooper Vanguard will deal 2 damage to Echo Coordinator, and Echo Coordinator will deal 1 damage to my Snowtrooper Vanguard.
I will play Rebellion Y-Wing. It's a space unit, so I will place it exhausted in the space arena. Playing this card costs 3 resources, so all my resources are now exhausted.
For my next action, I'm going to play the event card We're in Trouble from my hand. Event cards have a one-time effect. To play an event, I will 1. Pay its resource cost. 2. Show my opponent the card. 3. Place the card in the discard pile. And 4. Perform what the ability text says. In this case, I will use We're in Trouble to deal 3 damage to Echo Coordinator, then put it in my discard pile. Now it looks like your Echo Coordinator is in trouble with 5 damage.
You're right. When a unit has a total damage equal to or greater than its HP, it's defeated. Remove the damage counters and put it face up in the discard pile. Again, I will choose to take the initiative as my last action this round.
And with nothing left to do, I will pass. Let's move on to the regroup phase. Each player draws 2 cards and has the option, again, to place 1 card as a resource. Now the game may seem fairly simple in this first playthrough, but just imagine how shuffling the 50 cards in each deck would give you totally new battle scenarios. It may take some time to figure out how to best use the cards you draw in each game, so have fun with it.
All right, now on to round 3. For my first action, I will attack your base with Rebellion Y-Wing. Remember, my space unit can only attack my opponent's base or other space units, not the Snowtrooper Vanguard or other cards in the ground arena. Rebellion Y-Wing has an on-attack ability. On-attack abilities happen after the unit is exhausted and attacking, but before it deals combat damage. In this case, the Y-Wing's on-attack ability will deal 1 damage to the opponent's base. Then it will deal its 2 combat damage as part of the regular attack, dealing 3 damage in total.
Nice one, Y-Wing. I'm going to play Hoth Lieutenant, so I will exhaust 4 resources as well as the card I'm playing. This card has a When Played ability. When Played abilities happen immediately after entering play, so we'll do it right now. Looks like I get to take an attack action with another ready unit, giving it a +2/+0 for the attack. That's +2 power and +0 for HP. Just like a normal attack, the unit I select must be ready, not exhausted, to be able to attack. So I will choose to attack with Snowtrooper Vanguard at my opponent's base. It gets +2/+0 for the attack, totaling 4 points of damage to the base.
Phew. That was a big hit. It's a close game with 4 damage on each base now. Okay, I'll play Rogue Squadron Speeder to the ground arena, paying all 4 resources for it.
Aha! Now it's my turn to take the initiative. I'll grab it, flip it over, placing it on my space on the game board. I'll finally get to go first next round.
In that case, I will pass. Let's go to the regroup phase.
Check this out. I just drew my second Admiral Piet unit. He has a diamond-shaped symbol next to his name that means he's unique. Unique units or cards represent specific main characters, so you can only have 1 copy in play at a time. For example, you can have up to 3 Snowtrooper units in play, but only 1 Admiral Piet unit. Since I won't be able to make use of both of them right away, I'm going to resource 1 Admiral Piet unit.
Then each player readies all their exhausted cards in play. Units, resources, and leaders. And the initiative counter is flipped back over. All right, and I drew Bright Hope and Recovery. I'll resource Recovery. Turning all your cards upright will signal to your opponent that you've completed the regroup phase and are ready to move on to the next round.
In this round, we'll get to explore using our leader cards. You'll notice each leader has an action ability. You can use this ability as an action, paying the cost shown in brackets. Darth Vader's leader ability costs 1 resource and requires him to exhaust, shown by the arrow in brackets. With my first action, I'll use Darth Vader's leader ability to deal 1 damage to the enemy base.
Now that my base has sustained a total of 5 damage, I'll remove these counters and replace them with a 5 counter.
Both leaders have abilities that involve exhausting them, so those abilities can only be used once per round.
Now I get to take the epic action for the Leia leader, shown in the bottom yellow box here. An epic action can only be performed once per game. Now that I control at least 5 resources in play, I can deploy the Leia leader by flipping the card over and placing it as a unit ready into the ground arena. Note 2 important things. First, I only have to control 5 resources. I don't actually have to spend them. So I'll still have resources to play cards from my hand this turn. Second, leader units come into play ready, allowing them to attack the same round they are deployed, unlike most other units.
Okay, this is where we'll leave off with the tutorial game. Now that we've walked through the basic rules, feel free to finish out this game on your own. For additional rules and guidance, refer to the physical rulebook included in your game box. And remember, the player who reduces their opponent's base to 0 HP or hit points wins the game.
After finishing the tutorial game, you can shuffle each deck and try a new game on your own. And maybe you'll want to try playing with 30 HP bases for a longer game. The cards will be in a brand new order, creating exciting new challenges for both players.
Or if you're still getting the hang of the rules, you can put the decks back in their original order to play the tutorial game again. Order the cards by their card number located on the bottom right of the card, with the card number 1 being on top of the face-down deck.
And that'll be all for Sadie and me. Thanks for playing with us. If you enjoyed this gateway to the Star Wars Unlimited Galaxy, look for our Spotlight decks and booster packs to build your collection and enhance gameplay. There's plenty more Star Wars Unlimited to explore.
Good luck and have fun.